Hey guys, Coach Benny, bigbenchas.com. I'm here again with my man Louie. We just finished up a bench cast. You can also watch on our YouTube, so go check that out. We talked about multiply lifting, and I want to just delve in with you, Lou, because he's also a multiply lifter, meaning he uses equipment at his meets. For a lot of you starting out, all right, you probably competed raw. You're looking to get into the equipment. You hear us talking about it. You're like, what's that? It sounds pretty intriguing. I want to try it. So we're going to talk a little bit about some strategies on kind of where to go from here, what to look into, and how to get the ball rolling. So I guess, we're not going to delve exactly into what the equipment is, but you got your squat suit, you got your bench shirt. What would be your strategy for someone starting out? Usually I think the Titan Ram is a great tool, especially for shirted. As a slingshot changes the groove a little bit, this Titan Ram, if you go to Titan's website, it's only $85, and it's a fantastic tool. I've been recommending it to everyone. Louis actually has one.
Yep, I got the Magnum Ram. That thing is badass.
And it's pretty much like wearing a single ply shirt. It's going to change the groove that much. It's going to be very, very similar to wearing a bench shirt.
Yeah. How I started out, I actually started training in a slingshot, but for raw lifting. I didn't really do it for equip lifting, but my previous coach had competed in single ply, and I'm like, ooh, that looks cool. Let me try that out. So I bought some single ply equipment, and I just competed in it. I just dove right in.
So you went to the one layer.
Yep.
Single ply.
Yep. And then I'm like,
which is a lot more forgiving usually
yeah.
starting out.
Absolutely. So my deadlift technique wasn't great in single ply. My bench technique was pretty dialed in by the time I got to a meet, and my squat was very good. That was my bread and butter, was my squat. It still is, really. But I would say if you're gonna get into really any kind of gear, I don't think buying a beginner piece of equipment is worth it. I think you should go straight to the deep end, go whatever you want. Eventually, just buy that piece of equipment. Yeah. You want to squat in canvas? Get a canvas suit. You want triple ply briefs? Just get them. I find that you will save yourself a lot of money and maybe not a lot of time, maybe not a lot of frustration. It'll definitely be more frustrating to learn harder gear off the bat, but I think long run, it's going to benefit you a little bit, because then you'll know what the hardest stuff is really like.
Yes,
if you buy a whole set, bench shirt, briefs, squat suit, deadlift suit,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, so you might as well get something that's going to last you, that's going to, that you're going to use for real, instead of buying like loose beginner gear and then getting tight beginner gear and then getting, more advanced gear but loose and then getting more advanced gear that's tight. It makes absolutely no sense to me. You're spending thousands of dollars on stuff that you're going to use just a very short amount of time. So you want the most amount of time in whatever gear you're going to be using, because each groove is very specific to that piece of gear.
Yeah, I actually had a lifter trying to get into a bench shirt, and he wanted to get into, because Titan actually recommended, he called the Titan the F6. Now, the F6 is not their Super Katana, which is like the top-of-the-line single-ply shirt. Mm-hmm. He's just getting into it. I told him, get right to the Super Katana. If anything, I'm just like Louie. I'm like, get right into what you want. Or if you want to go multiply, you want an Inzer SDP, for example, a really good bench shirt, jump right to it, because you're going to learn it regardless.
Right.
All right? There's going to be a learning curve, but you're going to learn it regardless in the end.
So you
are
might
going to
as well
save time. And what they actually told him, too, get the F6, and then as you get accustomed to that, get the Super Katana and so on. And that, to me, sounds like marketing.
Yeah.
That sounds like trying to get some money out of someone over time. Not a bad strategy. I understand the intensities could be good there, but I would just say get right to it, like Louis was talking about. But I also like the training tools, because I think you can also use them in training as well. Definitely. As a way to deload a bit from the shirt work and stuff. So Titan Ram, for example.
Titan Ram, slingshot, bench daddy, stuff like that. A loose pair of briefs maybe, or like a single ply brief, like Metal I know sells a good pair of single ply briefs that I like a lot. I'm not like sponsored by them or anything. I'm not that good of a lifter.
Well, I want to mention the three brands too. We got the big ones, really, the trifecta. We got metal, Titan, and Inzer. Now, do you have any particulars, either one? I know I usually do not recommend metal bench shirts, just because from my experience and seeing other people's experience, usually not as much top end support, and just for some reason that groove, just kind of working that touch point and throwback is a little difficult, as opposed to someone getting into an Inzer shirt, where I usually recommend you start, just because you usually a little more forgiving, and you can hit that groove a little better, more top end support.
So my single ply gear was a metal squat suit and a metal bench shirt. I just bought them from Elite FTS. I already was a member there, or a member on their site, so it was very easy for me to get. I then, when I got into multiply, I bought again metal gear from Elite FTS or on eBay, because that's what I knew from the single ply stuff.
Brand,
So I was accustomed to it. When I bought my briefs, I bought them secondhand. I bought my suit secondhand, but I do have Inzer briefs, the Predators. They're fantastic. I have a metal deadlift suit. I have metal briefs for deadlifting. I have a metal canvas suit, which that thing is badass.
Yeah.
The metal canvas suit I definitely recommend. I don't like the Inzer Leviathan Ultra Pro. It's just me. I don't like that it's adjustable all the way up the sides, because then I feel like there's too much room for air. I like the metal suit because it's locked in down the sides, but then the legs are adjustable. So if for my opener I usually leave my legs pretty loose, I'll tighten them down a little bit for my second attempt, and then I'll crank them on my third, and I'm definitely feeling a lot more support through the hips, through the butt, through the crotch. It's that suit is fantastic. It's super thick. It's very high quality. It's very durable. But mine was very tight on me, and I ended up busting it out the butt. But that's just because I was too fat.
So, brand new lifter. All right, where the hell are you gonna begin? All right, a lot of gear options out there. A lot of different sizing options. All this other stuff. Let's outfit someone starting off. So starting with the squat. Where should they look to go first if just the first time getting in gear?
I would say go for a pair of single ply briefs to start off. I would say that.
Just working the briefs.
Work the briefs. Learn how to use them, because if you're a completely first of all, if you're a completely beginner lifter, you should not be in multiply gear. I'll say that right now. You need to have a base of strength. You need to be strong out of the gear in order to be strong in the gear. So if you can't bench, 315, if you can't squat like 2 times your body weight, don't even bother getting in gear. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're probably wasting your health. It's going to be very tough on you. But if you are beginner multiply, but a little more intermediate raw lifter, I would definitely say get like a pair of Inzer power pants or something like that. They are a little more forgiving. They're not going to bite you so bad. It'll be a good entry level, I think. They're decent briefs. They're very cheap. It's something you can work on. I would say that and any suit, really. Depends on what you like.
Something to start working in.
Yeah, you want something to definitely work in. So you can, I would say, buy cheap. If you have, get used. If you have stuff on eBay that you want, definitely go for it. I wouldn't say there's nothing that I wouldn't buy as a beginner into multiply gear. I went straight for the deep end. I went a pretty advanced shirt. I used the metal jack. It's relatively advanced. I don't know about like the Rage X or the SDP. I haven't used those, but the metal jack shirt is probably metal's crown jewel of their bench shirts. I went for a canvas suit, which it's a lot of times not recommended, but it was on eBay and it was cheap, so I bought it. Didn't matter. I bought Inzer Predator briefs. It's not like they're grid stitch, which adds a lot of support, or triple ply, so they were middle of the road. They weren't too tight on me, but I bought something that I can work in and learn the gear without killing myself. So that was definitely.
So pretty much I'd go, if you get a pair of briefs, now you can start squatting in there.
Yep.
And you can start deadlifting in there. So you'll be able to start working on both those movements. Buy it used, can be real cost efficient. And then the bench, Magnum Ram, I think is really a fantastic tool. I would try to spring for one of those if you can. If you can spare the extra 85 after getting the briefs, but then get yourself a good shirt too.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe not multiply out the bat. Maybe you want to go single ply, but top of the line in either one of those shirts. So you're getting like an Inzer Rage X, or you're getting like an Inzer SDP, or you're getting like a Titan Super Katana single or multi, something of the sort. But if you can spring for that Titan Magnum Ram too, I think that's going to be a really valuable tool. So I guess if you're keeping it bare minimum, pair of briefs is going to get you going.
Pair of briefs
and
and a shirt.
And a shirt. That's bare minimum. If you can spring for more Titan Magnum Ram, maybe get a squat suit too.
Yeah.
Because you could do both in there. So.
And then there's differences in the suits too. There's polyester and there's canvas. I myself like the canvas. It stops you dead in the hole. Polyester, there's more of a bounce to it, which I'm not a fan of. I'm a very slow squatter, but I'm explosive out of the bottom, so I don't want that, rebound. I want stopping power so I can reverse that myself. But a lot of people there are benefits and drawbacks to both. So canvas is very hard to get out of. It's harder to learn, but I feel it provides more support. It'll last you longer. There's differences, and then polyester, you're getting more pop, but not necessarily more carryover. You know what I mean? So there are definitely some differences, pros and cons to both.
And you'll learn what you like over time.
Yeah.
But just getting into it off the bat, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Probably buy used. I bought used. You bought used stuff.
I bought used.
It's still going to work great, and it's going to be broken in for you already, so it's not going to be super, super stiff material. So I guess that would be your first place to start. If you got any questions, email out to us. We can answer that for you. Getting into gear for the first time, I know there's kind of a lot to think about and a lot of choices out there, but it's really a simple process. You just got to start getting in something and then just start going through the movement. So
Right.
really what it comes down to. So thanks for watching, guys. Coach Ben here. Westside Lou. And we'll meet you